And welcome back, everyone, to segment 2 here on the Sportscenetv.net weekly live stream. I'm Anthony Saranana, and in segment 2, we usually bring in a coach or a member of the media who covers prep sports, but it's a great honor to bring back a segment where we would interview a scholar athlete. And, of course, we always like to kick it off with, a really fun person, someone that has a lot of interesting things going on and not only doing it on the football field, but in the classroom. And that would be none other than Maddox Bernardino of the Diamond Bar Brahmas. Maddox, I'm going to bring you and Dad in, who's also going to be joining us for the interviews. There we are. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. I really appreciate it. And let's just dive right into it, Maddox. We know you're a senior, and this is the fun year, the it year, but it also means a little more work because now you got to get things ready for the next level, and we'll be chatting about that as well. But we know, obviously, we see you on the football field. Can you tell us a little bit more about other sports you play and positions as well?
Yeah, so when I play sports, I do football first. I always start off with football. I am a receiver right now for Diamond Bar. I used to play quarterback last year, and then I go into baseball. I play center field and second base for baseball. And then I go to track and practice my running.
Nice. So, of course, with all that going on, we see you on the football field first with fall sports, and you're in one of the captain leadership roles. What advice do you give to your teammates that are juniors and sophomores when it comes to taking care of business, not only on the football field, but also in the classroom too?
So I give a lot of advice to maintain academics. That's really the biggest part of high school. And if you want to be able to play any sport at the next level, you're going to want to have academics. So I just feel like whenever someone asks me a question about what advice I can give them, I always try and tell them to stay 100% on academics and then try to do 110% on and off the field.
And speaking of academics, can you share with us what your GPA is? And you really elaborated already on how you balance it out, but what is your GPA for the school year so far?
Currently, my GPA is a 4.0.
Nice. I'm sure Dad says that academic comes from his side of the family, right, Dad?
No, that's definitely on Mom.
Mom, yeah.
The sports side, and my wife handles the academic side, and as Maddox knows, it's academics before sports, so it comes first.
Absolutely. And speaking of academics, Maddox, can you tell us what favorite subject or subjects you might have, and why you have a fond interest for that?
So my main favorite subject is probably going to be physics. I just like being able to work as groups and do experiments that our teacher is watching us on and making sure that we're safe. The other subject that I like is math, just because it comes really natural to me and it's a fun class with all of my friends.
Absolutely. And with physics and math, they come hand in hand, putting together all those formulas and equations. So, yeah, you're probably doing a lot better than when I was doing physics. So, where do you mentioned physics and math, but who do you see as a teacher who's had an impact with you throughout your 4 years there at Diamond Bar High School? I know all of the academics there, the administration, all top notch. I mean, that's what Diamond Bar High School is known for. But if there's a particular instructor or teacher or counselor, anyone that you're really connected with, who would that be?
I would say that the teacher I connected with the most would be Mr. Davies. He is currently our athletic director, and I can go to him whenever I need help with either a sports question or a academic question, because he always likes to help me out with either one, only because he's a athletic director and a teacher. He also values the importance of sports and academics, so it's really easy for me to talk to him about any type of problem I have.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Mr. Davies. He's really a fixture there at Diamond Bar High School. When you think about Diamond Bar High School athletics, you just kind of draw him in with it as well, that he's part of the program there. And so it's great when we went out to cover the game to see him out there and reconnect. And it's always fun to see him out there. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 and maybe 15 years?
So I definitely see myself next year getting a degree. I like computer science. That's probably what I'm going to major in. Hopefully I'm able to play sports in college, either it's baseball or football. In 5 years, I definitely want to finish with school. I want to have the degree. I kind of want to keep pursuing football. I think I'm going to pursue football more than I would baseball. And then 15 years, hopefully I will have either a computer science job with gaming or AI, or work hard enough to where I'm able to be in the NFL.
Yeah, computers is where it's at. It's all technology driven now. So it's a great future ahead of for that major. And what are you considering as far as some of the factors when you're looking at colleges, as far as what appeals to you?
I would say location is a big one. I don't want to be close enough to where I have to stay with my parents, but I don't want to be all the way across the state. So I want to be able to enjoy that college life of living in the dorm and having friends that are on campus with me. And I feel like that's probably the biggest factor in when I'm looking at college, is if it's close enough to where I'm living with my parents, or if I can be able to go in the dorms.
And right now, with your high school years, in your senior year now, slowly winding, coming to an end, what would you say are some of the items that you're proud of, whether it's off the field in a classroom or on the football field?
Many things that I'm proud of is going to be a triathlete all 4 years of my high school. I feel like that's a really big accomplishment that a lot of people work hard to do, which I have worked and done the dedication to do. I've also earned Scholar Athlete Award for my academics and my sports. And I feel like that's the major part of what accomplishments that I have had.
And to mix in not only the academic side and then the things you do with athletics, I also know that you're involved in your community, and you're also part of groups as well. Could you share some of that with us?
Yeah. So my church, I go to a church called not St. Dennis. I went to a church, St. Dennis. Now I have gone to Landmark Church with my friends. I've helped out in many group studies with them and talked about everything with my youth pastor. I really just try and focus on helping out kids there that may not have the same understandings about their religion that I do. And I just try to help them out whenever I can.
And as far as you being a mentor to them, that would lead me to my question to you is, growing up, who has been the greatest influence on you as a mentor growing up?
My mentors are most likely going to be my brother and my sister, my brother Marcus and my sister Madison. They have both taught me that you can balance academics and sports, because both of them have played sports in high school and they've done really well in academics. My brother has graduated from high school, went into West Point, graduated from there, and now he is in the military, and he did that all with a 4.0. My sister, she graduated high school with higher than a 4.0 and went into nursing school. And I feel like that just tries to push me to always do like what I can in order to be at that next level. And my mom and dad have also pushed me very hard in sports and academics to make sure that I have the level of acceptance that I want into college.
That's great to hear about your brother, and we thank him for his service, and your sister as well, being a nurse. So really 2 examples of being public servants to everyone here. So we definitely recognize that, and that those are 2 very good mentors to have.
Yep.
As your senior year now in football, you had an opportunity to play under several different coaches. How have you used that as an opportunity, a lesson to learn to make adjustments and pivot, because coaches will come in with some of their philosophies different than others. But how do you use that and take it as an opportunity to grow and to be able to learn new things here on the football field?
I would say it's really hard to go from one coach to another because you get comfortable with your old coach and then you have to come in and think of an entire new coach. It really helps that when you have conversations with them and get to know them on a personal level, and they will be more open to your suggestions or advice in case they need something on the field or off. And I feel like just communicating with them and getting that bond tighter is going to help anyone if they go from an old coach to a new coach, even if it's not quick.
Also, we see your name in the program, receiver, but also with some experience taking the snap as a quarterback. How has playing both positions given you the insight and appreciation on playing wide receiver and or quarterback? And has it changed your mind on which one you enjoy playing?
It's hard to compare two because they're both really different positions. I started off as a quarterback, and I know how hard it is to make the correct read or make the correct throw. And a lot of people don't realize how hard it actually is. And then when I switched out to receiver, I got to visualize the field and see where the defense is and how different it is from actually playing quarterback. And I feel like that helps me talk with my quarterbacks and tell them what's going to be open or what coverage they're in order to help give them an easier job, because I know how hard it is to play that position. Also, receiver is a lot more fun in my opinion, just because I might not get the ball every play, but it's a lot more open space when I do get the ball. And I just like to have fun and try and break tackles and score touchdowns.
Now, what would you say a word or a phrase that best describes you?
A word that I think best describes me is going to be versatile. It's really hard being able to balance academics and sports, and I feel like I've done a very good job at changing or maintaining different sports during the years and also maintaining that high GPA average throughout my school year.
Well, that's pretty much going to wind things down, because we do know we want to be mindful of your schedule. In fact, Dad was nice enough for us to be able to do this early on and record this so that way we could play this back. But just today, and Dad could probably even help put more detail and paint more of the picture. But, obviously you had class today, so that's an early morning start. Then right afterwards, your dad says, oh, he's jumping into practice. Now you get out of practice. And then he says, okay, we'll do a Sportscenetv interview. That takes you up to your evening. And then he says, Maddox has to go to an event with church. So he'll be doing that later on this evening. Tack in homework. The kid's got to eat. He's got to be able to, do some studying. I mean, it just shows the dedication and the time that a student athlete has. And Dad's there smiling. So I think I might have detailed it well today with the way the schedule was.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's definitely what helps. It's really nice when you have a passion to play the sport. Nothing worse than trying to drag your kid to practice or make him go to practice. And so it's a pleasure. Maddox is a gifted athlete and also gifted in class. So it's been a pleasure to watch him grow as a young man and keep God first and still want to participate in his church group youth activities, but then also go to practice and get home, and it will be a late night, eating dinner and showering and getting ready to do it the next day. And he really enjoys it, so it does make it a little bit easier. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And let's just share a little bit, because Dad was able to provide us a little bit here. So we got a couple of pictures here of Maddox getting ready to hit the gridiron out there, and then out at the gridiron getting ready to play on the Friday Night Lights. And there's Mom and Dad. And as you mentioned, Mom, the academic side, really pushing it for him. And obviously both parents doing a great job. And then you're on the sidelines, right, Dad? You're part of the chain gang and
Yeah.
helping out?
Doing chain crew, helping out the school in the football program as much as possible. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so Dad's there, and that's had an opportunity to meet with you on that game against Esperanza.
Right.
And then you mentioned your family, and there you are with your sister. You're the youngest, right, Maddox?
I am.
Yeah. So Dad's last one going through the high school ranks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then here's the team, the group. Head coach Matt Castaneda had an opportunity to interview him early on, and I mean, what a bright spark of light he brings to the program as well. And then Dad, of course, it's mentioned, hey, we had a little team building opportunity, and Dad, you can even still see a little bit of the palm trees behind Dad there. That's the backyard, and
That's right.
we had a little team event there, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we had the team and cheerleaders over, and Grandma made a bunch of tacos, her famous tacos for the football program, and let the kids swim and really just bond and get to know each other. And that's one thing that with new coach Matt Castaneda is really, is very family oriented, family driven, and wants the kids. It's more than just football. It's building those relationships and those foundations for later. I mean, this is great playing in high school, but it's the relationships you build for the future as well. And I just think doing this as a kid, I know my mom did it for us, and it's fun that she's able to do this for her grandson as well, and provide a meal and some fun activities for the kids for the night. So I think the kids had a great time, and nobody got injured swimming, so it was a good night, and I think a success.
And it looks like everybody got their fill of tacos. Look at those smiles.
For sure.
And then, of course, this Friday night's the big game day. Mentioned homecoming, so that should be fun in front of the home crowd. And then Dad was also very excited when we asked him for some video clips. His clips, I got clips for you, so we'll take a look at some of these here. You can walk us through these, Dad. Yeah,
so this is game 2 versus Chino. This is, I think, a 65, 75-yard run back for a touchdown. So this was that was a lot of fun. One of a few catches that game. This game here, this is game 1, Esperanza. 8 seconds left in the game. This here is the winning touchdown to finish the game. So as you can tell, I mean, with the kids and the staff and everybody running, it was a pretty exciting finish to game 1 to go 1-0. This year was against Wilson. This is Maddox punt return. Take this one back for a touchdown. I don't know, 60, 70 yards, something like that. So nice punt return there. So it's fun to watch. It's exciting to watch him play. And he really enjoyed it, so it makes it easy. Yes, absolutely. Well, I don't want to take much more time of your day. Again, it's probably halfway's there. You still have a little way else to go, but want to thank you both for coming on and chatting with us. And again, if anyone should be honored as a scholar athlete, Maddox, we definitely want to do that for you, and a tip of the hat, and let your community know what a hard worker you are. And we definitely want to thank you so much for taking the time out, and best to you both on Friday. I was going to say, make sure Dad and Maddox, you both do your stretching. You don't want to pull anything on the sidelines right there, especially with the chain gang.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So, all righty. Well, you both have a great rest of your day. And again, best to you both for the rest of the season and on homecoming on Friday night. So really appreciate it. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be segment 3. We're going to recap the upcoming week 6 schedule. So don't go away. You're watching the Sportscenetv.net weekly live stream. Don't go away.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play could be crushing.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Sportscenetv.net live stream here on Sports Scene TV's YouTube channel and on Facebook. I'm Anthony Serenana. I tell you, Maddox Bernardino, what a great way to kick off our student athlete segments again. All around athlete, student, and also getting involved in the community. And so we want to thank Maddox and his dad, Brian, for allowing us the opportunity to kind of to shovel their day and bring in the opportunity to interview him and let the community see what a bright young man or athlete as well that we have in our community. And this is the way he made everybody feel. I think Brian Gillette summed it up with a big old smile. Also, of course, when he said kids got game, yeah, those were some great catches on the field, so we'll get a chance to see. And then Roddy Layton with some great comments as well, and always the motivator in chief, I call him. And right there says it all. So congratulations to Maddox and his dad and his family, and we wish them all the well and the best in the future. And definitely catch a Diamond Bar game if you get a chance. I know this Friday night they're going to be at home, so we'll get a chance to see that. But